Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. We have a lot to talk about. President Trump tweeted out about 12 hours ago, his last tweet. It turns out to be true now that the Department of Justice and the FBI under President Obama rigged the investigation of Hillary and really turned the screws on Trump. And now it looks like in a corrupt and illegal way. The facts are out now. Whole hoax exposed. Now, this is obviously, he would have he's tweeted things like this before, but this is Jesse Waters of Fox, who's actually pretty awesome. He's funny. He's great. Okay. And then prior to that, the tweet right before that, 12 hours ago, absolutely nothing on Russian collusion. Kimberly Strassel, who did I say was one of the people when it all goes down? Kimberly Strassel will be one of those people. Tom Fitton, John Solomon, Paul Sperry, Sarah Carter, Dan Bongino, Kimberly Strassel, to a lesser extent, yours truly. and others too, but it'll be at like about 10 people. Absolutely nothing on Russian collusion. Kimberly Strassel, the Wall Street Journal. The Russian collusion fabrication is the greatest hoax in the history of politics. The only Russian collusion was with Hillary and the Democrats. So absolutely nothing was the quote from Kimberly Strassel regarding evidence. To my super chat, thank you so very, very much for giving me every incentive to rock these live streams. Is there going to be a special counsel? Will there be? Will there be a special counsel? Well, that's what we're all waiting for. A special counsel will help Democrats too. See, Democrats don't realize that. A lot of progressives don't realize that. Some progressives do, and they still watch this channel, and I appreciate that. Indictments are imminent within the next couple of years, yes. Within the next 2 to 3 years, sure. Next month, I'm not sure, but they're going to happen. That is a great question that should always be asked. Let's recap. In 2015, GCHQ. When is it all going down? Ken Palmer, thank you. I don't know. We have to get a special counsel first, or they'll just indict Clinton on crimes already committed. We already have information. She transferred top secret intelligence outside the United States government onto an unencrypted server, or a server that was once unencrypted. But in 2015, GCHQ alerted. Don't you love these terms that Democrats and liberals suddenly latch onto? Like they have their own spy novel in their brains. They're not really much on national security because Obama was horrendous on foreign policy. But what they do is they say, these contacts, oh my God, they were alerted. Really? No. GCHQ, the British version of the NSA, alerted the American intelligence community. Oh my God, a community of people, it takes a village. Who did they alert? Oh, not a community. Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, James Comey, John Brennan, James Clapper. That's not a community. That's a bunch of people who worked for Obama and who hated Trump and who covered for Clinton. Clinton had confidential CIA emails. Why didn't John Brennan care? She had the names of CIA agents. Why didn't John Brennan care? Well, he didn't care because he was covering for Clinton. All right. So it's 2015. Before he even wins the Republican primary, he is spied on. Then 2015, 2016, Hillary Clinton eventually gives her wiped servers. So the Democrats have a thing with their servers. The DNC didn't give their servers to the U.S. government. That was CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is the only entity to look at DNC servers. They're the ones who gave the images and pictures of the servers to the United States government. Why would you trust a third party, especially a third party outside the United States government that was outsourced and paid by the DNC and Hillary Clinton? Why would you trust? And then also, why would you trust a dossier compiled by a person who was paid by Hillary Clinton and the DNC through Fusion GPS? Good morning, Francis Capello. Good morning. And so Hillary Clinton was guilty as sin. She actually decided the terms of giving her own servers. She said that, oh, well, she's going to decide when to give the servers, how to give the servers, because initially, if you remember, she told the FBI, no, those servers are going to remain private. When was the last time anyone told the FBI, no, the servers are going to remain private? Or it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So fast forward to, oh, well, there's a criminal referral. Why did the FBI even investigate, ladies and gentlemen? Why? Because Charles McAuliffe, the Inspector General of the intelligence community, a guy who is not part of, the Clinton Democrat liberal establishment gang, he said, look, there's classified intelligence on here. At that time, people were so naive. They didn't think that they didn't understand that she used her emails. She only used one server. She didn't have a state.gov. They didn't understand it. The people still don't. People still don't believe that. So, the Inspector General said, oh, there's classified intelligence. You've been using your email server, and there happens to be classified intelligence. This falls under the Espionage Act, U.S. Code 793F, which is what Matthew Whitaker wrote about in the USA Today the day that Comey covered everything up, July 5th, 2016. After July 5th, 2016, on that day, actually, I took a lot of heat. People were dancing in the end zone. Oh my God, HA, you were saying she was going to get indicted. Even one guy who is a progressive pundit recently called me a dip, you know what? I'm not going to say it on a live stream on Twitter. I have something to tell him on Twitter, but I'll save it for Tuesday. But he doesn't realize that if she got indicted, Bernie Sanders would have won the Democratic nomination, and he would have come a lot closer to single payer and all of those things that he wanted. Possibly. Who knows what Bernie would have done? But Bernie Sanders, I believe, at that moment in history, and I'm glad Trump won, but I believe I would have been right that Bernie would have won the presidency. At that moment in history, he would have won Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, because there was a populist voice, conservative. There was no liberal populist voice. That was a year where populism, where the country wanted a voice to speak to them. At that point, people thought Bernie Sanders was this mythical figure. Okay, he folded like in 2 seconds after he was cheated. He didn't fight for anything. You know who fought? Jill Stein fought. But I think that I thank God Trump won, because now we have soldiers and Americans coming back from war, coming back to 10,000. But this guy is like, oh yeah, you thought Clinton was going to be indicted. That is the stupid mentality among like establishment journalists who look down upon me for saying that. That's because they didn't realize, or they couldn't fathom, such a powerful liberal criminal being brought to justice, just like this guy can't, who speaks to a whole bunch of people. And so it doesn't realize. So in the end of the day, he just tells people to vote for the establishment candidate anyway. Out of the box, Bear. Keep up the good work, HA. Loved your interview with Sather, by the way. Keep your nose to the grindstone and keep speaking truth. You rock, man. Out of the box, Bear. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very much. That was a fun one. That was a fun one. By the way, open challenge for a debate with Kyle Kulinski regarding single payer, the feasibility of the economic viability of single payer. It's not feasible for 320 plus million people. And the Trump presidency, the fact that this is a better presidency than Obama's presidency, especially in terms of foreign policy. Open challenge to a debate with Sam Cedar, David Pakman on this channel. They get a lot of subs parroting the Democratic Party line on the Russia myth, all of these things. So on this channel, anytime they want, love to debate them. But so Hillary Clinton eventually is investigated only because the inspector generals, the inspector general said, hey, there's classified information on here. There's classified information on here. We have to investigate. He gave a referral to the FBI. James Comey wasn't going to investigate this, ladies and gentlemen. Once the referral went to the FBI, they then had to, because they're very much, they're slaves to protocol. If the referral goes to the FBI, and it's an obvious problem, because at that point, the press was actually doing its job somewhat. They were worried about this. They were reporting on this. They were talking about this. And so there was an FBI probe started. Obviously, she committed crimes. Obviously, she transferred top secret intelligence outside the United States government. But the closer it got to Election Day, the more people were willing to forgive Clinton. The closer it got to Election Day, the more people were saying, no, she will never be indicted. And then people made fun of me or tried to mock me. But the interesting thing is, they're actually insulting themselves, because if Clinton got indicted, the trajectory of U.S. history would be different, at least in terms of what they want. The liberals or the progressives would have gotten what they wanted, a chance at the most progressive candidate since FDR. But they didn't want that. They didn't want that, so they cheated Bernie Sanders. We found out we confirmed they cheated because we read the DNC emails and the Podesta emails. We also confirmed that the Clinton Foundation is a money laundering racket, which is in the Podesta emails. It's a Clinton Foundation Inc. or a Bill Clinton Inc. that the Podesta emails talked about. So, but that wasn't enough to for people to admit that the whole thing was a cover-up. And while they covered up Clinton's crimes and how she set up the server is one of the biggest crimes. How did she transfer top secret intelligence outside of the United States government? How did she take special access program intelligence from Jaywix? This is the people who revere the intelligence community, and she made an absolute mockery of the intelligence community. And by the way, I believe a special counsel or something is on the horizon. I don't know, something, because Trump can't be for 2 years tweeting this stuff and at the end of the day do nothing. Joint Worldwide Intelligence Communication System. You know, when they're like, oh my God, intelligence, the intelligence community, the intelligence community. How did someone needs to ask Clapper or Comey or Brennan or Mueller? How did she transfer top secret intelligence from the Joint Worldwide Intelligence Communication System, a top secret SCI network run by the United States Defense Intelligence Agency and used across the Department of Defense, the Department of State, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of Justice? So, if you look at sensitive compartmented information, the Joint Worldwide Intelligence Communication System, if you are a veteran or if you worked in the Department of Defense, you'll know exactly what it is. The Joint Worldwide Intelligence Communication System, Jaywix, is a top secret SCI network run by the United States Defense Intelligence Agency and used across the Department of Defense, the Department of State, the Department of Homeland Security, Department of Justice to transmit especially sensitive classified information. Top secret network. In other words, Jaywix is DOD's top secret intranet. This is an intranet, ladies and gentlemen. How do you transfer data outside an intranet? This is not the internet. This is an intranet. Okay? Together with its secret counterpart, Cybernet. An intranet is a private network accessible only to organization staff. Jaywix is a top secret intranet. Okay? A top secret intranet. Press 1 if you understand the significance of a top secret intranet. Press 1 if you understand the significance of a top secret intranet. All right. Again, this is a top secret intranet that Hillary Clinton transferred money out of. I mean, transferred top secret intelligence out of. How do you transfer? How do you transfer top secret intelligence outside an intranet, a top secret intranet? Itchkon the U.S. Capitol needs to be abandoned, can't be fixed, infested, build a new capital far away, strict rules on applying on occupying property deemed U.S. Capitol zone, abandon the swamp. Actually, D.C. was originally a swamp, but in the early 1800s or late 1700s. Sorry. Itchkon thank you. Itchkon thank you so very much as always. Thank you. So it's a top secret intranet together with its secret counterpart Cybernet, which, by the way, also she transferred data out of. In day-to-day usage, Jaywix is primarily used by members of the intelligence community. This is the intelligence community Democrats revere. They don't revere them enough to actually protect them, but they revere them because it's because of political utility. Such as DIA within the DOD and the Federal Bureau of Investigation under the Justice Department. Conversely, Cybernet and Nippernet comprise the overwhelming bulk of, Jaywix was allegedly one of the networks, accessed by Chelsea Manning. So I don't think, though, that she accessed Jaywix, or maybe she did, but not for, because she didn't have top secret emails. Clinton had 22 top secret and special access program intelligence. Chelsea Manning didn't access SAP intelligence. So this is a top secret intranet. How did she transfer top secret intelligence from an intranet? That's the question. So that's the question that they were. That's the question that they were. That they were quote unquote investigating. Press 2 if you think Peter Strzok did everything possible not to find out how Clinton transferred top secret intel from an intranet called Jaywix, a top secret intranet called Jaywix. Press 2 if you think Peter Strzok and Comey and McCabe and all of them did not want to know. That's right. That's right. They did not want to know. They did not want to know. They didn't want to know. They knew that if you dig too deep, that you will embarrass the country. They knew that if you dig, and they didn't want Trump. They thought Trump was dangerous. And ladies and gentlemen, dangerous to them means bringing home Americans from never-ending conflict. So this is viewed. Loud Citizen, they may have helped her. That's true, Loud Citizen. You're right. So Ichkan Diddy, thank you. That's true, Loud Citizen. You're right on that. They may have helped her. So at the end of the day, they didn't twist and sing. No one flipped and sung. They didn't. There was no. The media is composed 99% of people who wanted Clinton to win. This is an extension of the 2016 campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not ended the 2016 campaign, and we won't end it until 2020. We will not end the 2016 campaign. And people thought that I was being stuck in the past. Oh, yeah, why are you talking about Hillary? Do you realize people would tell me, people had the audacity. The vape video, Matthew, was the best. That was the best video, in addition to the other video I'm not going to bring up now. The vape video was the best video. I don't know if you guys have seen this. The Amazing Lucas has. The Amazing Lucas has a great segment on that. And it's just this guy, I think it's like in Georgia. He's like, it's like, how do you, like, what's wrong with you if you don't want to serve? Like, I have to be honest, I can't wear this in LA. There's no way I can wear this in LA, you know? And I'm also like not interested in getting into a fight and argument while I'm with my kids and my wife. Atlanta, how is that possible? You're in Georgia? Like, that kind of thing wouldn't even happen in LA. Even like in LA, you'd probably get maybe into a fight or an argument, but it would be more of a confrontational issue. It wouldn't be about money, I don't think. That was mental instability right there. Yes. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. HJNTX. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, Little Rock, I think there's a lot of, I think 2019 has to be the culmination of everything Trump has been tweeting the past year and a half regarding Clinton. So while they were covering for Clinton, they were setting up Trump. And they knew that Obama knew and Comey knew. And this is the thing. It's all a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Even Susan Rice is like, well, Obama said he has nothing to do with anything. But they know what they're doing. They hide behind process. They hide behind government. They hide behind protocol. They hide behind their posts. And with Trump, it's like, oh my God, we have to start a special counsel because he told Comey to take it easy on Flynn. Well, that's not a criminal offense. That's not obstruction of justice, because at that point the FBI could have made a referral to the DOJ. The president's obstructing justice. Okay. Yeah, the secret spaceship. I'm not going to talk about it on the live stream, but yeah, that is a brilliant video. That's a brilliant video. One day, that person is going to come up against somebody who isn't going to really care whether that person wants to go outside or not, and it ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be fun. But that's the thing. I mean, there's so much. The millennial left has a chip on its shoulder, and they don't want to be exposed. And if you expose them, they get really, really defensive and angry and yell all the time. And it's it's like they don't. I don't even know. I don't know if it's called the millennial left. I don't know. There's a certain group of people who have tried to utilize a pseudo-intellectual viewpoint on society and politics to legitimize their neuroses and their eccentricities. And it's just, this is not, people have lost it. This is not normal behavior. It's not normal behavior. Now, I'm not talking about and I'm speaking in vague terms because I don't want to but all people, I believe, all people should be protected under the law. All people should be treated fairly. I don't really care. I don't care if you climb a building and then pretend that you're an American eagle. I don't want you to do that, but go ahead and do it. It's not going to faze me. It's not going to change my life in any way. I'm pretty much libertarian when it comes to social issues. Do what you want. I don't care. Doesn't affect me. What do I care? But when people utilize social media or society or politics as a way to demean and condemn others, even under the guise of trying to defend their viewpoint on life or their feelings, me, exactly. Well, I don't vape, but I have friends who do. I don't know. I just think that it's real life is not Twitter or a viral video. There's a lot more compassion and cooperation in real life. Of course, real life has a lot of craziness, but outside Twitter, that's why I'm going to leave Twitter before Tuesday. I'm going to tell off a whole bunch of people. But real life, Bud Drake. I'm just going to call you Bill Gates from now on. Real life is people don't have a chip on their shoulder. People don't want to pontificate. You're not going to see people unless it's some crazy person and they're saying the end of the world is coming, repent, that type of thing. No one pontificates in real life. Nobody comes to you for no reason. Nobody just comes to you for no reason and says, if you're wearing an Obama hat or Obama shirt or even a Bush shirt, no one says, hey, you know what? I just don't like Obama's policy regarding $500 million for 5 rebels. No one does that. It's only on Twitter where every second it's moralizing, it's pontificating. every single second. Every single second. It never ends. It never ends. And I just think this culture that we have, this world that we have right now, it's not really, it doesn't permeate into real life. You have a small group of pseudo-intellectual. What's another way of saying pseudo-intellectual? What would be another way? Let's see, thesaurus. It's a pseudo-intellectual. It's a pretentious, fabricated. There are these, like, it's like somebody took some certain like certain liberal courses in Berkeley in the late 1990s, early 2000s, and then said, okay, this is what political discourse is going to be about on the internet. This does not translate well. Like, that's why Ben Shapiro destroys everyone. It's not like that's Ben Shapiro destroys everyone because it doesn't translate to real life. If you put people in a room or actually have them live life, you can't live life. Like, there's no. John Stossel actually had a hilarious one. He had a bake sale based on the pseudo-intellectual philosophy of today's internet. And he had different prices for different people. And actually, like, minorities were like, what are you doing? This is racist. But this would be he was trying to say, look, this is exactly what, and I'm being like very vague because I don't want to get into, things, but anyway, the left is like completely and exactly, the younger generation is trending towards conservative values because people need, generally throughout the world, there's a reason. Rhonda, Iowa girl, people who pretend they are smarter than they actually are. Exactly, Rhonda, Iowa girl, exactly. You saw this on the right for a second with Bush. People were pontificating and telling you how to live, and now it's the left. Rhonda, Iowa girl, thank you. Yes, you're right. Happy New Year. Freedom Autopsy Report, I have. I used to. I'm not really religious anymore. But it's really interesting too. And they're so easily defeated in an argument. They're so easily defeated in an argument. The same goes with some conservatives, or the alt-right. You would say is, you can easily defeat extreme viewpoints. You can easily defeat in an argument. But getting back to, so now there's this Russian hacking probe. They utilized a dossier that was paid for by Hillary Clinton, which is complete nonsense. Not one thing has been corroborated. If you read the dossier, it makes grandiose claims, like major claims. It makes major claims. It states that Manafort and Carter Page and Michael Cohen and others were working with Russian intelligence to hurt Hillary Clinton. There's zero evidence of that. That's why Mueller hasn't indicted. Could you imagine a special counsel with the zeal and zest and enthusiasm and laser focus of Mueller against Clinton? And that could be what they're afraid of. That could be what they're afraid of. It could be what they're afraid of. Who knows? But we need a special counsel. And President Trump's tweet is pretty all encompassing. I mean, you know, it turns out to be true that the Justice Department and the FBI under President Obama rigged the investigation for Hillary and really turned the screws on Trump. And now it looks like in a corrupt and illegal way, there should have been a special counsel. Right when Peter Strzok said, we'll stop Trump and there's an insurance policy, there should have been a special counsel right then and there. You listen, James Comey, Andrew McCabe, and Peter Strzok risk jail time. They're turning on Clinton in 2 seconds. In 2 seconds. Cheryl Mills, Uma Abedin, Heather Samuelson, Brian Pagliano. If this is public record stuff, everyone knows this. If they're risking jail time, they turn on Clinton in 2 seconds. Frank, the secret to life is loving our family, smiles and joys. Well, yes, loving our families, Frank. That is very important. I agree with you. Agent Pepsi 1, more proof of my assertion. The only logical progression of why the FBI DOJ sacrificed their sterling reputation is not to protect Hillary, but Obama. Well, yeah, but absolutely. But whereas President Obama, it starts with President Obama. He will never, ever, ever, ever receive justice for the chaos he helped put us through. He had the authority to say, "Hey, get this done right." It was Obama that presided over everything. It was Obama that knew about everything. But they hide behind plausible deniability. They don't give Trump plausible deniability. They actually criminalize things that aren't a problem. Trace, Lettinger, Clinton, Obama. Do you think Trump should put Nikki Haley on his 2020 ticket? I do. And people were not happy with that on my channel, but I think he should. If he rolls in with a woman, it's game over. I mean, it's game over. You'd have the first female vice president, and God forbid, could have the first president, but you could have the first female president from that. Nikki Haley, but I don't think anyone could be trusted, really. Can Pence be trusted? He was the one who presided over the whole Flynn thing. Michael Flynn had no reason to tell Mike Pence anything. I love how they were like, oh yeah, I don't like the fact that she's more militant than Trump, but so is Pence. Pence is an establishment McCain type. Maybe less militant than McCain. But Trace Lettinger, great question. Yes. Trump needs to spice things up because he's doing great things. I respectfully don't think that Elizabeth Warren will be vice president, but I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong on that. That I could be wrong on. But Elizabeth Warren didn't back Bernie Sanders. So, didn't back Bernie Sanders. She backed Hillary Clinton. This is why when the what hits the fan. Who's got your back, and it just goes to show, like, Elizabeth Warren was a backstabber. Smiling in your face. She was smiling in your face, and then she backstabbed Bernie. And then Bernie backstabbed his voters, but, many voters didn't care. It took me a long time to realize Bernie backstabbed his voters. It took me a long time. I didn't want to believe it. Let's put it this way. It took me about a year and a half before I would just officially was like, look, this is too much. He did. Once he started pumping the Russia myth, I was like, nah, he backstabbed his voters. This is ridiculous. Rhonda, Iowa girl. I still think there's secret pardons that we don't know about. Yes on Nikki, absolutely, right? If Rhonda, Iowa girl says yes on Nikki, I am all for Nikki Haley. If Rhonda, Iowa girl says yes on Nikki Haley, I am for Nikki Haley. But I'm hoping that Pence, no trust in Pence. Yeah, I don't trust Pence either. Trump didn't acknowledge him at the 41 funeral. Wow. Rhonda, Iowa girl, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much as always. Yeah, Nikki Haley would be great. I mean, could you imagine? They would then have to. They couldn't do the identity politics thing. Look, when Sarah Palin ran, she wasn't great. Okay, she wasn't ready to run. Okay, now she's a lot more, cerebral, if we could say. Back then she just wasn't ready. But the Democrats, if you force Democrats to actually jettison their identity politics or their, then it's just they're just another political party, which, armed American, we the people. Yes, Nikki Haley cannot be trusted. She ruined South Carolina. She destroyed all of our green space and put in buildings that nobody could even afford to rent. Wow. Okay. Armed American, we the people. Another viewpoint on Nikki Haley. Okay. Well, I mean, that's the thing, she probably has a whole bunch of things that she's done wrong. It's just the optics would destroy the media. The media would be destroyed. But armed American, we the people, thank you. Thank you. So let's see. If you type in, let's see, if you type in Mueller, what do you get? Giuliani rips Mueller. It's time to put up or shut up. Yeah, baby. Giuliani suggests Mueller cover-up charges Dems have absolutely nothing, and they don't. Yes. Giuliani rips Mueller. It's time to put up or shut up. That's right. You can't go into the new year. You can't go into 2019. Are you kidding? The third year of a joke. This is a media-driven. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, is seeking to put pressure on special counsel Robert Mueller to submit his report on whether the investigation into the Trump campaign in Russia has found collusion, saying they should put up or shut up. There was no collusion. They don't have anything. That's why they're stalling. People have told me, many people, you don't know what he knows. Yeah, I know what he knows. He has nothing. It's called, if you play poker, I'm not even a great poker player. I'm not. I mean, I'm okay, but I'm not like into poker. But if you play poker, you can kind of see, like, you can kind of feel who has what. It's right. Press 1. If you've played poker, Rhonda, Iowa girl, she was done back then. She's grown up a lot. Yep, I agree. Rhonda, Iowa girl, I agree. I agree. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta go. I'm gonna call it early right here. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you so much. Special counsel hopefully on the horizon.